Well, Taylor led the Dolphins to their first ever NCAA tournament appearance and victory. The JU single season points record with 86, 18 games with 5+ points, and 203 career points. It's 76 degrees at 2 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
We are going to have some fun today with music, Tom.
Are we?
We are, and
Okay.
here is why.
Pre-production meeting right as we go.
Correct.
Awesome.
RJ and I already met together, so don't worry.
Okay.
But yeah, today, the Riverfront Music Garden was unveiled. Riverfront
Okay.
Music Garden in downtown Jacksonville.
Awesome.
On I believe it's the North Bank. And it honors a lot of different musical artists, either from Jacksonville or with
Okay.
ties to Jacksonville.
Oh,
so
nice.
every song today is going to be from a band that
All
has
right.
either ties to Jacksonville or they are actually from Jacksonville. You can probably
Ton
guess
of them.
quite a few of the songs that we're
Lot
going to
of
play, or at least
Southern
the
rock,
bands.
for
That is
sure.
correct, which is probably
Absolutely.
why Southern rock is my favorite genre of music,
Uh-huh.
along with country.
One of my favorites of all time is from Jayville. I hope you play one of them. I'm sure you will.
Well, I've got a list together, but I'll have you look over it.
Let's just say 1995, first year of the Jags, I think was the first year they hit it big.
Okay.
Yeah, red hat and all.
You're talking about Limp Bizkit.
I'm talking
And
about the Biscuit,
I
man.
do have
They
a Limp
were
Bizkit
just
song in there.
unbelievable.
It may not be the favorite, but here's the problem.
That's okay.
I had to pick a clean Limp
Yeah,
Bizkit song.
I know.
So
I
that
know.
was honestly that was the hardest one of all of them. Was
Absolutely.
how do I find
How do you
something we
find
can
one?
play?
Yeah.
Because even the clean versions, I feel like are a
What'd
little
you find?
risque.
The one they redid by the Who?
That's a really good question. Behind Blue Eyes.
Behind Blue Eyes, good call.
I thought about that one,
Yeah.
but I elected to go with Just Like This instead.
Okay.
So that was a clean song without having to make RJ work
So
extra hard.
Christina went to DA with not Fred,
Okay.
but a couple of those guys. I think John Notto, the drummer,
Nice.
and then one of the I think the bass player. But yeah, it's just there's a ton of musical talent
Right.
here. Of course, Skinner's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You see the Van Zants around town. It's always awesome to see them. 38 Special. I mean, it goes on and
You are
on.
naming
right?
multiple of the
I'm
bands.
not
No,
trying
it's
to name
fine.
them all.
You're
but
all
yeah,
good.
yeah, it's fun. By the way, if you're ever sitting around drinking, you want to have a game. Try to guess all the talent, all the mainstream,
Right.
like I'll give you one,
Yeah.
Yellow Card.
Yep, they're
like
on the
you'd
list.
be like, okay, but there's more. There's
Yep.
actually a really big one. I love them. They're one of my favorite bands today, and they're here in Jacksonville as well.
Shinedown?
Good call.
Okay.
Good call. I love
so
Shinedown.
Shinedown didn't make my list, but we can add it in.
They should be in,
That's perfectly
in my
fine.
opinion,
Yeah.
because they're here and they're
Absolutely.
incredible.
So
I
yeah, we
think.
will
I
we will
love
have
their music.
like I said, we'll have fun with music today.
What a great call. Great
Why,
job.
thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to the garden downtown.
Yes, Riverfront.
That's awesome.
Riverfront Music Garden. I think it's just the beginning of obviously the downtown transformation.
Is there a little
That's
museum in there, like for the music, or
So I
is it-
haven't been yet. I just saw that
Okay.
they opened it this morning.
Yeah,
so
so
the
maybe
mayor
they
was
do.
there.
Cool.
And, yeah,
Awesome.
so we'll have to check it out.
You know what I often wondered, LB, since we're talking about
Yeah.
downtown, forget about moving the jail. I've been complaining about that forever, like everybody has. But how
We have a
come Maxwell
waterfront jail.
House doesn't have like a little cafe just right there?
Great question.
Like, go get a cup of coffee right from Maxwell House.
Yeah.
Throw in a couple biscuits or something. I don't care. But why can't do that? It's a little.
Yeah.
They got plenty of room for a little courtyard. I know in the summer months people won't do it, but the other months, I don't know.
You can have chilled
I always
coffee in
wondered,
the
like,
summer months.
It was funny because I had some people from New York way back when, like 15 years ago, and they're like, "Oh, Maxwell House, let's go get a cup of coffee." I'm like, you can't really just go get a cup of coffee." They're like, "What? That's
Yeah.
weird."
See,
Anyway.
you're right, because when you think about like breweries or distilleries, you can always get a sample of their beer
Sample.
and
Yeah,
or
of course.
liquor
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there. Why
Absolutely.
not at Maxwell House?
Yeah.
I've always wondered, this is a little different, but why grocery stores don't sell breakfast sandwiches, like hot breakfast sandwiches. Obviously, gas
Oh.
stations do.
Yeah.
But grocery stores, just like they have the deli.
like Publix's and
Right,
Winn-Dixie's,
yeah,
you
like
mean,
where they
right.
have the subs
Yeah.
in the morning, you get a hot
Right.
breakfast sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe people don't
Idea to
go
make
to
money, grocery stores.
Well, Native Son has it. They,
Okay.
they've got some breakfast sandwiches.
I didn't
Azar
know that.
sausages in there.
All
the
right,
best.
nice.
But yeah, they've got them. But that's a smaller boutique type store.
But very close to me, so that's really good information.
And ours as well. So it's a nice one when you just need a couple things
Yeah.
to go to Native Son.
They've
Absolutely.
got good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, I thought about this. At some point in time, I think the NFL, Roger Goodell, is going to rename the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's now going to be the IFL, the International Football League.
I tell you what.
Because at this point in time, if you're going to play 9 games away from the United States, you are now the International Football League, even if none of your franchises are actually placed overseas.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know. I'm all for growth. You're in business. We all try to grow. You want to grow. I get that. But I don't know. Do you have to be worldwide for your valuations to keep going up? But I don't know. I don't ever want to sit there and tell a business owner like, well, how much do you need? Like, well, as much as I want, right?
Yeah.
I get it. It's your freedom to do that. But I don't know. It's just, I don't like this scheduling. I know we're going to talk about it. I can't believe they take a rivalry game away from either. Well, I don't know who loses it. Do we lose it?
The Jaguars.
We lose it. Like, you're taking that away from the fans. Now, that's an NFL thing, right? That's not a Jaguar or a Texan thing. The NFL does that, I guess.
The NFL
or you have to accept to go to these
decides
things.
it, but I do think with the international games, there is a little bit more discussion with the teams than with the regular season.
It's only
schedule.
Houston's third time going. How about that?
Yeah, so the Jaguars have an advantage, but we also thought the Jaguars had an advantage last year.
They don't have an advantage
because
over
they
there,
knew
I don't think.
to be over there more time than the Rams.
Yeah,
But that clearly did not work.
No, not at all. The Rams, what they did was perfect. But I don't lie. I just don't know. To me, that goes for any division. Don't take those divisional games, especially the heated ones. You want to throw, I don't know, Indy over there with the Jags? Maybe. Although I know there's a rivalry there, but it's not
The
as...
Jaguars always beat Indianapolis and Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I don't... Philly, I don't care. I don't care if I see Philly live or not. That doesn't
The problem
bother me.
with
But
Philly fans in Jacksonville or near Florida,
Yeah.
they were excited to get to see their team here, and that game is once again moved.
well, here, look, and it's gonna look. 42,000 is gonna be small. If half of them are the opposing team, like some of these teams that will bring it, you don't want that anyway.
Well, that's
you know
why
what I mean.
obviously
You don't want it. It's going to look weird. 20 and 20.
You
is
only
gonna-
have 6 true home games
Right.
at Everbank Stadium.
Correct.
So the Jaguars brass is hoping every single person that's in the stands is a Jaguars fan. That they don't sell their tickets to
Yeah.
the Steelers or to other teams that may come into town, like we've seen in the past. 49ers have taken over, right? That doesn't happen because you only get 6 of them.
But you have to have 40. I'm sorry to cut you off. You have
Yeah,
to have 42,000 sold out before those Jaguar
Correct.
fans can even sell those tickets.
And there are still seats remaining.
Yeah.
If you look
so other teams
online.
can come in and buy those seats.
Those for now, yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, the goal is before the season starts that all of the season tickets
Are
for
sold.
next year are sold
Yeah.
out. And
This
then-
year. We're
yes,
26.
for this
Yeah.
upcoming season. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the goal. Obviously, that's I think partially why this brass is so transparent. This regime is constantly. I mean, we heard Tony Boselli on Jaguars today earlier. Great job by them.
Yeah,
Had him
absolutely.
for about 30 minutes, which is unbelievable. And so I think that's part of it. They have to be front facing because they understand the challenge in front of them. Yes, they won 13 games, but they didn't win a postseason game. They didn't win the Super Bowl. They're limited capacity this year with construction, and then next year in Orlando. And then eventually, yes, Stadium of the Future, everything will be phenomenal.
Right.
But at that point in time, I know Jaguars fans do not ever want to see another game be taken away from the stadium and moved somewhere else.
Right. And, well, I think
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's what
Yeah.
Jaguars fans will not want.
I don't know. I would brace that, whether we agree with it or not, or I do or not. I mean, I would brace for, one London game every year, home game, or because you get all the money. You get like 80% or 90% of the revenue that comes in when you're the home team at those, at least as far as I know.
And that makes up for losing, obviously, a portion of the ticket sales for this upcoming season and then a year in Orlando.
But it's a sacrifice for everybody. Sacrifice for the fans, sacrifice
And
for
remember,
the team.
I always like to remind people, this is because of the limited capacity in Jacksonville wasn't the original plan. The original plan was to be gone for 2 years.
That's right. And we
but
voted.
the fans voted and spoke up, and it was great of the Jaguars people to listen, especially Mark Lamping and that group of, right, the business side of things. They actually listened and said, okay, well, let's see if we can make this work where we do one season with, 42,000 and then another season we'll have to play elsewhere. So, yes, there's give and take, but at least those fans that want to go next year, it's in Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, yeah. And it's listen, if you win, it's not going to matter, right? I don't know. Look, again, we know that it comes down to money. It's just the more money they can make, the more money they can make, the more money they're going to try to make. Like, I don't know. I wonder if guys like that have been to London do they look at it like, we got to go to London? Maybe the wife and family was like, all right, we get to go to London again. But
I know Liam's wife loves London.
Yeah,
it's her.
But has she been a multiple? Well, she must have been multiple times with the Rams and whatnot. I don't. After a while, do the player, you know what I mean? Like, I could see early players like, yeah, man, we get to go to London. Come on, it's going to be great. And then the vet's like, rather play at home, although home's going to be limited.
At least that flight is way shorter than the one, like we talked about, to Australia.
That's ridiculous. I don't know. Whatever.
Right. That shouldn't happen. But
that's what I'm talking about, though. When does it stop? I mean, are we going to reach a deal with China?
Potentially, if it's going to make more money,
if it's going to make money, no
but
doubt.
that may be a little bit tricky right now.
Right, exactly.
But I know exactly your point.
Yeah, right.
Yes, if Antarctica was to make more money, they would go there. That's just that's not going to make more money. All right. Yesterday we got a text we got a question in from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. What's a zone beater? So we'll have Tom answer that on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels 1010XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL.
For the second time, the Gators celebrate as national champions.
Home of the Florida Gators.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Trust me, I know this. I've been dealing with Nimnick forever, and they really are that good. For 3 generations, Nimnick's been the place customers keep coming back to. Customers like me, treating you right, giving the most back to our community, more choices and better prices. It's just the best place to buy cars, and I can promise you that. So who gives you the best experience when you're buying a car? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantling, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Who's going to write their name on the Wanamaker Trophy?
The defending champion says, remember me?
Hear updates and coverage of the PGA Championship teed up by LiveForeverGolf.com and TopDressing.com on 1010XL.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Meta World Peace, what's up, man?
Nah, that's not my name anymore, thanks to Hard Rock Bet.
We're doing this again, are we?
Now I go by Meta over rebounds, under assists, method of first basket, free throw, piece.
Huh, so you really can same-game parlay practically anything now on Hard Rock Bet.
It's the only place I play these days.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Attention business owners and sales professionals. Still hearing, I need to think about it? Pat McManaman from Sandler Sales. We can help. There's a 2-day sales boot camp in Jacksonville, May 13th and 14th. We'll show you how to handle objections and close more deals without being pushy. Call us at 904-646-1900 for more details. 646-1900. Let's get your business and top-line revenue growing.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust. Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Obviously, we had to start with Leonard Skinner.
Down at a place called Linda Lou's. Love it.
I love Give Me 3 Steps. It's not my favorite Leonard Skinner song, but it's more upbeat than my favorite, which is the Ballad of Curtis Lowe.
Yeah, I like that one too. I like Mr. Breeze.
Call Me the Breeze.
Yeah, Call Me the Breeze.
Yes.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
you're good.
love that song.
That's a good one. I know it well. One of our friends, her daughter's middle name is Breeze.
Oh,
so
nice.
She always connects
Yeah.
that song, obviously. With
Yeah,
her
here's a
daughter.
little trivia, not trivia, but a little fun story. So I went to a benefit that the Van Zants put on. Their daughter, I forget the kind of condition that she has, but they're raising money for it. It was at the Porsche dealership. And I saw some of my musician friends that were there. I saw Brett Myers. He was there. And guess who else was there? Doug Flutie.
Oh, okay.
So I know Doug, from BC and the J Fund, which I'll see him this weekend. So I saw him. I'm like, that's kind of odd. Doug Flutie's here. He lives in Melbourne, right? So it's not like he's close by, but not too far.
No, but
so
in
anyway,
Florida, not Australia.
after the presentation was over, I went over. I said, "Hey, Doug, how's it going?" He's like, "Hey, man." I said, "Man, what are you doing here?" He goes, when I was playing for the Generals, Leonard Skinner was going to play at the Meadowlands, and I was back, in the tunnel with him. And they're like, "Hey, throw me a ball," and he's like. We've been friends ever since, since 1985.
Cool.
He's like, I've been to so many of their shows. That was really cool to know. I was like, wow, Doug Flutie and the Van Zants. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Doug's a big musician guy, too. He's got a
Okay.
band and all that kind of stuff.
I mean,
him and his brother play.
you BC people, you're just
Yeah.
multi-talented.
Yeah, right. But anyway, it was cool to see that connection.
It looks like, according to the internet, a cavernous malformation for the daughter. Cavernoma is what it's called.
Cavernoma, okay. I
Which
remember
had
that now.
caused brain hemorrhages back in 2024.
Yep.
And so, they were raising money to support
It was a great event.
that.
It was a great event.
I'm sure. Is the Porsche dealership the Brumos one there on
Yes,
San
right
Pablo?
No.
Okay.
On Atlantic.
Okay, gotcha.
One on Atlantic, yeah. Whichever one that was.
I know what
now
you're talking
or
about now.
is.
Yeah. I think there's like a collection one that I'm thinking of that's on San Pablo, but either way.
Yeah, I know what you said.
Yeah, in case you missed our first segment, we're going to play music today that are bands either from Jacksonville or with ties to Jacksonville in honor of the Riverfront Music Garden opening today. So all
Very
you
cool.
music lovers will have to go out there and
Love
check it out. All right, it's a question, like I said, from the text line yesterday. What's a zone beater? Obviously, you can continue to ask Tom and I questions, 641-1010 on the
look
text
at
line.
the text.
Designed by Lifetime Enclosures, but go ahead. What's a zone beater?
Okay, so man beaters, zone beaters, you probably hear that quite a bit. A man beater is your QB recognizes man to man, and you're in a formation that would create a rub for a guy to get open, right? And what's a rub? It's kind of like a pick in basketball, but you can't make it look like a pick in basketball, or they throw a flag on you.
Travis Kelce got away with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you got to make it like you're running a route, but your whole idea is to get in the way of the defender covering your teammate who's nearby you, and they're in man, which means unless they play in and out, he's got to work through you to get to the guy. And by the time he does, he's open. Like a quick slant would be a zone or a man beater in that situation. That's just one small example. There's a bunch. It's really just pre-snap reads
And I was
that the
gonna say,
QB understands what defense they are in. When they get confused is when it's disguised. And they might switch it up. They might roll a safety late or somehow switch up the coverage, and you get confused by it, which is it can happen to the best of them, you know, no doubt. And then you get pressured, maybe you're a little confused. Yeah, that's where you make mistakes, type thing.
And so I think people also need to understand when you see the guy go in motion, a player going in motion on the offense, that's to try and help the quarterback
to see what they're in.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if they go with them. Say they go across the formation or in and out, and there's a defender on the other side of the ball doing the same, mimicking that receiver or that target, they're typically in man. If they bump it, meaning they just slide down a little bit and then they recount, nobody really moves, nobody goes with the receiver, that typically means they're in zone.
But defenses have gotten much more sophisticated, so they don't always give their
Correct.
signals away.
Well, and, we've heard it here. They try to split the field vertically and play man on one side, zone on the other, which to me is very complicated. I'd have to really look at it and study it, but because you wouldn't know when to release and when not to release, right? Which brings me to the zone beaters. So zone beaters are, if you can recognize they're in zone, there are certain routes, certain throws, if you will, that'll beat the zone. I've said it, a lot of people say it, but you probably heard a lot, like there's always a hole in zone.
Mm-hmm.
If you have time, that's why, like, if you rush 4 and you're in zone, you better have real sticky coverage, or the quarterback and that 4 don't get to the QB.
Right.
He's picking you apart. We've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen backups do it. Not that that's it, that they're bad. I'm just saying, like, if that quarterback has time and we're dropped back in his zone, reading, reacting, there's always a hole based on how you run your route, where you run your route, where you sit down. The receivers got to know what zone they're in. The quarterback's got to know they got to be on the same page. So, an example, let's say it's the QB recognizes they're in cover 3, right? So it's 3 deep. That's split into thirds. That means the back 3 are split into thirds, okay? I'm going to take my receiver on one end and run him deep on that corner, which is going to do what? Make that corner stay deep with him, and the safety will have to keep an eye on him because he can't let anybody deeper than him. On the other side, I'm going to throw a long crossing route over. Remember, it's not man, it's zone. So they're going to keep passing, keep passing, keep passing. The cornerback's already gone. Yep. The safety's gone. I'm going to fit right behind the line. I'm showing YouTube. Yeah. I'm going to fit right behind the linebacker.
Our numbers are never going to be better.
And in front of the DBs, basically, the corner and the safety. And that should be there every time, or most of the times, right? So just different things. Cover 2, which is 2 deep. You've heard of Tampa too? A seam route. That's why, like, Cozio could be really good in these, and Stranges too. Go down the seam route because it'll be a linebacker will have to get on that hip. He's expecting the safety to come over. Safety can't come over until he's for sure that it's going to be there because he's got deep half. And if you can, there's typically a hole in that zone. Outside on cover 2, once the corner releases you to the safety's got to come over. There's a hole right when that drop release point, because the safety's really got to read it perfectly, make a great jump. And if you lob it, they got a chance. But if you're on time, you'll beat the defense almost every single time.
I think for people who
without pressure, that's the key. That's the key.
I think people who watch football in the early stages, before you understand the differences between man and zone, you look at the TV and you're like, why is he so open, right? Like if it's your defense, and then it's like, yeah, because it's zone. But if you were a defensive coordinator, would you prefer man to man if you had like the horses for the course, so to speak?
I would prefer man-to-man and or press, right? So I don't like off coverage.
Right.
Again, it depends on my front 4. If my front 4 is relentless and I get to play this off, I mean, that's a coordinator's dream.
Yeah.
I don't have to bring extra. I don't have to press because
you have the Broncos front, in other words, their defensive front.
Sure, from last year, absolutely. Use that front. They are always, by the way, did you see that stat, Nick Benito? He had 43 quick pressures, which is under 2 seconds. Interesting how fast that guy can get to the quarterback.
That's what we always talk about is he's built differently.
Yeah, but if you have that, it gives you the luxury to play zone, more zone, keep it in front of you. Nobody beat deep. Now, when I play press, right? And if I've got a tight end to my receiver and that safety can't get beat deep and they send them both deep, right?
Right.
And my corner does release him after a while, right? To the safety.
Yeah.
There's going to be a hole. As long as I have time to make that throw, it'll be there. That's why it gets frustrating watching our defense when we're getting picked apart because we're not getting any pressure to the QB. Now, that I don't mean picked apart all the time, but against Buffalo, he had 80% completion percentage. He basically picked you apart. He did what he needed to do and got it done. Got it out quick, fine. You want to say that at the end of the day, there wasn't enough pressure, and then you got to manufacture pressure, which means what?
Blitzing.
Which means taking somebody out of coverage.
Right.
And if the quarterback's good enough to read it and see it coming, he's got a beater, whether zone or man, just wide open, waiting for the football.
Right. If the blitz doesn't get home,
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It's like I was saying with Devin Lloyd, running backs had a hard time blocking him on blitzes. He got home a lot, maybe not for sacks, but just getting in the way, hurries, that kind of thing. That's why you need a back to really block because you can't have that back get beat by a blitzing safety or a backer because then it works. But if I get picked up and nobody wins the battle, like I sent 5, I sent 6, they all get picked up. It's all for naught. It's not a bad call. Your guys just didn't execute it. And that's where, we get confused as fans, and I do too. Like, well, you're calling it. Yeah, I'm calling it, but they're not and the coach can't go up in front of the podium and be like, hey, man, I'm calling. I don't play for him. I can't make them beat. I can't, stop him from getting stoned at the line of scrimmage by the guard. Because I'm not out. I'm calling this play. We're not getting it with 4. I have to do something. And then we get picked up. That's why then you're like, well, heck, I'm not going to blitz.
Which
as
on the
much.
other side, that's why we praise the running backs who can be really good at blitz pickup because that is going to hopefully then translate to a completion, even though there's a blitz coming.
And that's why that's one of the first, other than fumbling, is one of the first reasons young running backs at any level don't see the field because they can't block. They can't pick up the blitz, whether they can't recognize or they just physically can't do it.
Are they not asked to do that in college?
They are, and you practice it. I mean, we would practice it quite a bit. It's a hard thing. I mean, you're kind of like, you're absorbing. I mean, you can deliver a little bit at the last second, but you're playing you're almost playing like like you get a charge in basketball, but you can't get run over.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like it's hard. Like, so you're sitting there waiting, seeing what he's going to do, and he's coming full speed at you, and I got to cut him.
The charge is going to lead to a whistle. This is not.
Right.
This is just football.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. No,
It's not
interesting.
easy.
No.
It's not easy. But that's the job.
And that's why if you're looking for more optimism for Trevor Lawrence, again, I know last year it was a lot of questions, a lot of doubt concerning him. This year, people far more optimistic. He's played 5 years in the league. That's why people were upset with some of the situational awareness or lack thereof at times. But it's also only 5 years in the league. Compare that to a Matt Stafford. Even a Patrick Mahomes at this point in time has played way more football than him.
I said it early in the week, LB. Give me 7-8 years of good Trevor. I mean,
from here forward.
From here forward.
Exactly.
I'll forget about the first 4.5. You know what I mean? You will. You'll be like, yeah, you remember when kind of. But I remember the last 7 years he's
growing
been
pains,
awesome.
learning curve.
Some of that.
Absolutely.
There is. And it's adjustment to the game and to that level and to everything else that goes with it, especially when you're the number 1 pick and you're the quarterback of the football team.
Right.
A lot on your plate.
But like we talked about, the quarterback being able to diagnose all of that stuff at the line is crucial because then that leads to the correct audible or the correct choice of which play call because he's getting 2 play calls. Or where he's going with the football.
That's really the important thing, right? So if they're in man and I've got a setup where I'm going to get a nice rub and I'm going to have a nice underneath crossing route, I can even sell it a little bit, look to the right, but come back to the left. You know what I mean? That type of thing. If you can get to that level, that's what Brady made. That's what made him so great. He knew exactly. You could blitz him.
Yeah.
Whatever. I know you're leaving this guy open because if I throw it quick enough, I know the guy that's supposed to cover him will never get over there fast enough. He'll just never get there.
He's
He'll
the
always
king
be open.
of picking defenses apart.
Correct.
The absolute best that we've ever seen.
And the only way you did his kryptonite, like any QB, was hitting him.
Correct. affecting the quarterback by hitting him.
Every quarterback's kryptonite.
For sure. I want to know Josh Hines-Allen, his quick pressures, and Trayvon Walker, his quick pressures. Like you talked about, Nick Benito had 43.
I saw that.
I wonder what their stats are. And I don't mean just this past season, but since they've been playing. To be able to compare it to, we'll try and research that. But every time, by the way, you say rub, I think dry rub, and then I think barbecue.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, let's get some ribs in here.
Yeah, it's a pick. That basically. Yeah. It's a rub route. And, as a defender, especially if you're a little off the ball, you got to decide, am I going underneath? Because to go through, you'll never win. Yeah. Because even a little tiny bang, even though you're bigger than the guy normally, right? The wide receiver's not always, but trying to block you, all he has to do is get in your way for a split second. If that ball's on time and that target turns around, I mean, it's up the field and you're in trouble. So you got to figure out, do I go underneath? Do I go over the top? And if you go over the top, what do you have to be careful of? Not go too far over the top because they'll catch the ball and cut it back inside, and then you're going to get yelled at for doing that. So, you know what I mean? You got to figure all this stuff out. And when your quarterback can figure it out against the teams doing it, you got yourself one heck of a chance.
Absolutely. All right, we'll continue the football conversation. You are listening to Helmets and Heels 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here with Coach Delaney from Coyle Fencing. For years, your offenses have been putting up a lot of yards and points at Fletcher. I hear Coyle also gains a lot of yards in the fence world.
Yes, Frank. Coyle Fencing has been serving the Jacksonville community and general contractors for 99 years. We fence tens of thousands of commercial and residential yards, all while maintaining an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
99 years?
That's right. Some might call it a dynasty.
To schedule your appointment, visit CoyleJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Hey, Tommy Mack here for Duval Glass. And when it comes to glass, you don't want average, you want flawless. And Duval Glass and Mirror has been flawless for over 35 years on the First Coast. Frameless showers that wow, mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced, decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to our Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. Only one name around here for glass and mirror, and it's Duval.
Hacker here with an opportunity. Drop 40 pounds by the 4th. You can do it. I dropped my first 40 in 6 weeks. Hayes did it. Dempsey, Amber, and thousands of others have done it. 40 by the 4th. Awaken. 180weightloss.com.
The Jaguars Foundation is hosting an intimate evening of community and conversation at the Sports and Culture Speaker Series. Join us June 2nd and 3rd to hear exclusive perspectives from Jaguars leadership, including Mark Lamping, Tony Boselli, head coach Liam Cohen, and general manager James Gladstone, as they talk culture, leadership, and building a lasting legacy on and off the field. To be part of the conversation, visit jaguars.com/community/events.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Since 1928, people have admired diamond solitaire necklaces and ear studs that we've hand-selected and put together because of the way they sparkle on a lady's neck or ear. And now, through May 31st, Underwoods is putting all of our diamond solitaire necklaces and ear studs on sale at 15% below our everyday price. We also take trade-ins on these pieces of jewelry, so if you're thinking about growing a diamond solitaire necklace or a pair of diamond studs up to a larger size, it's an ideal time to come see us. To give an example, we normally sell our 1-carat total weight diamond stud earrings for $3,150, but right now they're on sale for $2,677.50. Our diamond solitaire necklaces are priced the same way, with sizes from 1/5 carat total weight up to 7 carats total weight. So if you need a gift that says forever, make it an Underwood diamond solitaire necklace or a pair of diamond stud earrings at Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops upon Avedra.
It's golfing season, man. When it comes to Live Forever Golf, it's live forever together forever with me. The fit's absolutely fantastic. So comfortable. And I say this coming from a guy who has been 40 years buying golf apparel. Everything from polos to shorts, belts, hats, any accessory. When you go to liveforevergolf.com, you're going to see the new drops. You're going to see the deals. You're going to see all the advantages. Join the liveforevergolf.com nation. Shop today at liveforevergolf.com.
Firehouse Subs is adding a new heavy hitter to the roster, the Chicken and Cheddar Rancher. Grilled chicken, melted cheddar, crispy bacon stacked high with fresh toppings, and creamy buttermilk ranch. The Chicken and Cheddar Rancher, only at Firehouse Subs.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Let this play the whole rest of the way, but I think that's going to get us in trouble with some YouTube people and playing songs too long. Tom McManus is here. RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks. Taylor Dahl is on vacation this week. She'll be back with us next week. In case you missed it, we're playing music today with bands either from Jacksonville or ties to Jacksonville in honor of the Riverfront Music Garden being opened earlier today in downtown Jacksonville. And Allman Brothers is one of my all-time favorite bands, so that's why they're included. Mm-hmm. Yes, we could have gone the route of Tedeschi Trucks Band.
Absolutely.
But ended up going Allman Brothers just because I freaking love Allman Brothers.
Susan and Derek are phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Love them. I actually had a little tailgate with them at their tailgate. Friend Jay Dodson brought me over. You know, Jay, a good friend of ours. And he's like, hey, you got to come over. And we had a great time. They're so down to earth, so cool. And
they are.
So talented.
Absolutely.
Both of them are unbelievable.
Another one that didn't make the list, but we'll consider it honorable mention, JJ Gray and Mofro.
Oh, yeah.
I love them.
No doubt.
They actually are playing in town this Friday night at the Ponte Vedra Concert Hall.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's like an intimate show.
They're a cool band.
Really cool. We are not going because we're going to the concert on Saturday in Gainesville.
Show out.
West. Yeah. I keep hoping, by the way, that I check the weather every day. I keep hoping that the temperature is going to come down, but nope, 91 degrees is the high in Gainesville on Saturday.
That's all right.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
A little sweat.
A little sweat never hurt anybody. By the way, from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010, if you want to get in the action. This person said, saw Shinedown play Summerfest in front of 4 people. A few months later, they were on the radio.
Isn't that unbelievable?
It's so fun. Yep. You and I have talked about this so many times. I love seeing artists before they make it big. Then you get to see those intimate performances, and whether it's free, or it's an inexpensive concert. That's the cool part too. Usually it's less than $20 to see people like that.
Yeah.
Or it's free, which is also amazing.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. My friend Robbie, you know, by the way, Robert, hope you're feeling better, had his hip replaced yesterday.
Ouch.
Yeah. He's had a few replacements.
He is on the injured list, on the IL.
On the list. Yeah. But he would tell me stories back when he was growing up. So he's 63. So he's about 8 years older than me. Skinner would throw parties out in the woods with just like kegs.
Talk about a dream come
play
true.
Music, you know.
That makes me think
just
of
free
like
to
Dazed
anybody
and Confused.
Yeah, exactly. But so cool, those kind of stories. But yeah, man, it's an awesome city we live in. You know, we got sports, we got music, we got acting, we got all the entertainment, we got everything.
And we have the ocean and rivers and coastal. We've got it all. Golf courses, all of that stuff.
No doubt.
All right, so we were talking about pre-snap reads and things like that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people want to know, why does the quarterback always yell out who the middle linebacker is? Because the middle linebacker doesn't typically change, right?
Yeah.
But yet every time they'll be like, the mic. And they'll announce who the mic is to the rest of the offense, but the mic is the same pretty much every play unless the mic gets hurt.
It's really for the O-line and how they're going to block the front, right? So I know if it's a pass, which way they slide, how they run, block it, depends on where maybe it's where the center's going to go or the guard coming off. But yeah, it's similar to that. I guess he's the middle of the front, you know, and it's an easy way to block them up, but it's really just for the line to figure out who they're going to block. whether it's run or pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had said you were at Publix and someone behind you said, I don't think you're that excited about the rookies, Tom.
Yeah, my friend Vince. Hey, Vince. Yeah, it was good to meet you. I love meeting people out there. Thanks for listening to the show. And he's like, you don't sound that excited. I'm saying, no, man, I'm excited. It's just, he's like, well, minicamp didn't really impress. I said, no, it didn't, but that doesn't mean they're not going to have a good team.
Well, you were excited, I think, about Pregnon and Koziol, just not as excited about Nate Borkacher from first glance.
Yeah, and look, yes, and overall, nobody really jumped out at you. It's whatever. Listen, if they're going to be roll, glue, grunt players, they just got to be good football players. I don't care what their 40 is. You know what I mean? I would have personally thought that Nate Borkacher would be like this ridiculous athlete, taking that high. Great blocker, can get out. Look at him run. But
he was taking it 56. It's just because it was the Jags' first pick in the draft. He wasn't taking it 16,
but
right?
a second rounder, you normally, why are you getting drafted in the second round? A, you're a good football player. And B, you got some of those intangibles, your size, your speed.
And this is why, though, Jaguars fans were confused by the draft pick, because everything that you immediately read about Borkacher is great blocker, but not necessarily counted on in the passing game that much, and doesn't have those elite traits like you're talking about.
Right, but now here's the other side of it, okay? I was thinking about this off air. So if I'm defending a tight end, okay, how's the tight end going to beat me? Very different ways, right? Speed, flat out, faster than me. Okay. If he's not that, then he knows how to get open. So he's got some shake in his route. Pete Mitchell was great at making you think he was going one way and he'd go the other, or double you, and then trying to follow that. If you're behind him a little bit, it's shaking. I call it shaking the route. Right.
I call it shake and bake.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of that. Yeah. You're trying to get him off. Right. And by the way, you don't need a lot of separation. So if I can wiggle you a little bit and get you off the straight line covering me, and I turn around, the ball's there. Who cares if I run a 4.8? I can get open. You know what I mean? I may not be breaking it for 70 yards for a game-winning score, but if I can catch the rock and get it open. So what I was getting at, so as a defender, you're going to beat me by speed, you're going to beat me by size, or you're going to beat me by scheme, because if I can match up with you, then it's the scheme, or you're going to beat me by how to get open. Like how to set up the defender per se.
And Liam is great with the scheme part of things.
Listen, I'm going to trust that they saw something in his film that they think he's got all that. And the upside is that he's not a Blazer, but he can get open. And that's all that matters. Can he get open? And on top of that, can he block? I mean, he's got to be, if he's
there's
not
no way they draft him unless he's good at blocking.
If he's not a dominant blocker, dominant. Not that he doesn't need help from time to time, but like this guy, you see it, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
To me, I'm like, he's got to be a playmaker, or he's got to be one of those grunts say, you know what, we're running behind 87 every chance we get. You know why? Because he's taking his guy and he's blocking him. He's walling him out. He's putting him on his back. He's doing whatever it takes to win. Then you're like, okay, yeah, hell yeah, I'd take that kid. Might take him even a little higher, if that's how good of a blocker he is. And then the other stuff we'll just see. Again, if it opens up Brenton, that's great. Koziel is going to provide some interesting mismatches or matchups, I think, with his size and the way he can run a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do, yeah. So 87 for Nate Borkacher, 89 for Tanner Koziel.
Yep.
So when you go out to practice, if you do, or if you're obviously going to watch the games, it'll be interesting to watch how they utilize both of those guys, obviously, in addition to Brenton, right? Does Koziel become more involved in the pass catching side of things than Borkacher? Or is it Texas A&M just didn't need to throw him the football that often because they had some really good wideouts, including Casey Concepcion, right? And so that they just didn't need that to be a big part of their offense.
Or the kid Reed, right? Marcel Reed, the quarterback. Maybe it just wasn't his guys that he went to. Maybe just you do find your favorites, especially in college.
Yeah.
You throw it to the guys that you maybe have a little chemistry with and you go to all the time. And, he wasn't a full-time number one tight end. He was part of a tight end group. So, look, he caught the ball when they threw it to him.
But if you didn't know which player was drafted higher,
and
you went to rookie minicamp on Saturday, you might have thought Koziel was drafted.
Based on athletic ability, I would have thought Koziel was the higher draft.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. Too. All right, Tom, more to do on the other side, including Tom's take. I hear it's a good one. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
I'm Jeff Lageman, right here on the flagship station of the Jaguars.
That's a heck of a catch.
1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
I'm local attorney Rick Alexander. In my 30 years practicing law, I've learned you never want to choose money over health. It's always a bad deal. Unfortunately, when someone screws up and you get hurt, that choice is gone. Your only choice is whether you face the future with a lawyer or without one. If you're hurt because somebody screwed up, call me at the practice. The Alexander Law Practice, 904-400-6600 or alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Ackerman Cancer Center is the community leader in cancer treatment, offering advanced proton therapy treatment for cancers near vital organs or complex, hard-to-reach areas. Take charge of your well-being with AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for fixing my air conditioner last week. It's way nicer at my place now.
Glad we could help. Good to know it was just a small repair.
I know, a new air conditioner can be pretty expensive.
I mean, they do keep your whole house nice. That's a lot of space to keep cool.
I know.
And they do it all summer long, even when the weather is totally Jacksonville temperature outside.
I know.
Luckily, if you ever do need a new AC, we can arrange a financing plan that'll make it easy for you to handle.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Here, put on these sunglasses.
Whoa. They can show banking information? Cool glasses.
Short term, long term, low interest, zero down payment. There's all kinds of options for bigger projects or even repairs as low as $500.
I wish I had these math sunglasses in high school.
You and me both, pal.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Lauren Brooks. If your car's AC isn't ready for this Florida heat, Big Chief Tire has you covered with $50 off AC services. Stay cool and comfortable no matter where summer takes you. Their team makes it quick and easy with friendly local service you can trust. Call 904-932-0950 or check out WeKeepJacksRollin.com. Big Chief Tire, keeping you cool all summer long.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price. Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at UNF and Bishop Snyder this summer, plus plenty of other sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Tracy Molly Hatchet flirting with disaster. Absolutely. Playing songs from bands either from Jacksonville or ties to Jacksonville FLA, once again in honor of the Riverfront Music Garden. They, by the way, had no idea they were going to get so much pub today. But when I saw the story, I said, well, that is what we are going to do. We are going to have some fun with music. Tom McManus is here. RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Taylor Dahl on vacation this week. She'll be back next week. I saw she went to the Pelicans game last night. The Pelicans, a.k.a.
Yeah, I saw that.
minor league team
Yeah,
of
cool.
the Cubs. Yeah, super fun.
Absolutely.
There gets, I'm sure, a ballpark hot dog because that's what Taylor Dahl loves. All right, we are talking, of course, a lot of football, and time now for Tom's Take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial pound law. That's all.
All right, my take today on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, because every day you're alive is beautiful, is centered around a wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals. His name's Andre Iosivas, if I pronounced that right. He had a couple good years under Joe Burrow. Joe got hurt last year, not his best year, and led the team with 5 drops. The reason I'm bringing this up is he said that people got in his head a little bit. He said, you know, when your DMs, direct messages, are flooded with people telling you to kill yourself. A direct quote from the young man. It brought me to Brian Thomas. Was he getting death threats? Was he getting people like sending him messages saying, go kill yourself? If that ever happened, you are a beep loser. I mean, you are such a loser to think that you could even do that to somebody, to go that far. It's just a game. You're not a GM. Your fantasy football team in the whole scheme of things means nothing to the world. It means nothing. I don't care how many you win. It's just ridiculous to see that it got so bad. Like he was tearing up during this interview, had to step away. Like, can you imagine being seriously, getting a bunch, like, go kill yourself. Really? Because I had a few drops? Seriously? I'm telling you what, I would like to think that Jaguar fans would never do that to any of our players ever in the history of the franchise. Because if you do, you're not a Jag fan. Take your crap and get the hell out of here because you don't belong. That really bothered me. Listen, nobody loves football more than me. You might love it as much as me, but you don't love it more than me. And I'm one of the more passionate guys about it. But I would never, ever, ever think of anything near that. And that's my take today, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Might want to hire them, young man, and go after these people for that kind of abuse. But check them out at forthepeople.com and on your cell at Pound Law. That's all.
Iosivas is how you say his last name.
Iosivas, thank you.
But yeah.
Terrible. Come on. It's a game.
I remember there were people that had death threats surrounding soccer players, growing up, right? And so I just always thought, internationally more than in the States, but I remember thinking, that's not normal.
No.
Sports is, that's what we do for a living, right? We love it. We watch sports constantly, love to talk about it. But it's a game. That's why we love it, is because it's not life or death. And so, it makes me incredibly sad. I would like to think that social media will one day get to a point where if you send something like that, you are now basically the same thing as if you were to verbally threaten someone with their life. You're going to be held accountable the same way. And so that person, I think, should, or those people should have.
That's just ridiculous to go that
police
far.
Investigate
Listen,
them.
I know there are plenty of people are out there that don't like what I say or like whatever.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's part of the territory. You're not going to win everybody over. Remember I told you the third. Right? Remember your friend Ernie Bono said a third will like it, a third won't care.
Right.
So if you can live with the third, you're good. I can live with the third. The other 2/3. Now, if you say anything, you never say it public to me. If you say it online, I don't even block you. I mute you. So it's like you're gone off to the forest and nobody can hear you anyway. Your buddies might be able to hear you, little minions and that, but I don't hear it.
Yeah.
And I hear from people, man, some people are tough on you. I'm like, they're not that tough. You know what I mean? But it does come with the territory. It's part of the deal.
Respectfully disagreeing is part of the fun of sports.
Yeah.
But you have to also be respectful, too. Yeah, look, trust me.
To take it to that level is ridiculous.
Tom, I get it. I'm a female working in a male-dominated industry.
I know.
And yes, there are so many times that, since I lost my Twitter or got hacked back in January, the last few months I haven't been on social media as much, and it's been kind of nice, not because of the negativity, but not just negativity towards me. I don't mean it like that. just negativity in general.
Right.
Like I love to wake up, see the sun shining, and have a day full of gratitude versus going down those rabbit holes of people saying awful things to one another.
Yeah, no, I don't. And sometimes you got to tell the people that jump on. You're like, hey man, take it easy. It's like it's not that serious.
I
Like,
always say, would you say it to their face? Like the whole golden rule, like do unto others as you want them to do unto you. If you want to be negative, by all means. But would you say it to Tom's face? And if the answer is no, then don't put it out online.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Don't have ever death threats.
It's not that serious.
Do you remember Jim McElwain when he was the coach at Florida?
Yeah.
He said that he was getting death threats.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, he wasn't, and then that's how he lost his job.
Oh, really? Well, I know the former commish because friends of mine were friends with him before Jay. Who knows? Jay Monahan. Who's the new one? But when was Jay? Now, or is he?
Brian Rolapp is the
Jay.
commissioner
He was
now.
getting death threats because of the live stuff. Like, I'm like, really? Like
But he didn't have anything.
No, I know, but because he didn't remember, he kept the PGA. He didn't want them commingling, for lack of better terms, right? And everyone's like, why aren't you accepting the money? Why aren't you doing? And he was getting threats. He had to I'm out. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can you
People
imagine?
do better, be better. I know most people out there listening are
most
not
people
like
are good,
that.
man.
Most people
That's for
are
sure.
good.
That's for sure.
There's a country song about that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, more to do on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Smart guests, strong opinions, fresh conversations. The Lead is coming Fridays 4 to 6 with Hayes Carline and Ryan O'Halloran starting May 15th on 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom, who got rear-ended last year. Tom McManus here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial Pound Law or check out forthepeople.com.
Take a radio boat ride with Captain Cabin on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Wheeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
What's happening, beautiful people? E.T. here. Let me tell you about a little something that's happening right here in my side of town in Fleming Island. Encore Research Group is advancing the future of medicine through clinical research studies focused on weight loss, diabetes, hypertension, and more. Their team of multi-specialty doctors are proudly serving folks in Fleming Island, Green Coast Springs, and Middleburg. If you ever wondered whether a research study might be right for you, find out at EncoreDocs.com to see if you qualify. Encore Research Group. The future of medicine starts here.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair Grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
Spend a night in the big 80s. It's the ultimate Bon Jovi tribute. Don Jovi playing all the hits. A high-energy performance that'll blow your mind. Don Jovi. Friday, May 15th at Thrasher Horn Center. Tickets start at just $24. Don't miss Don Jovi live.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The NFL announced their international games for the upcoming season, which the Jaguars will have 2 in London. On October 11th, they will take on the Philadelphia Eagles at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And then on October, they will take on the Houston Texans at Wembley. The rest of the schedule will be announced tomorrow night at 8. It's 76 degrees at 3 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Like I mentioned, I had to find a clean Limp Bizkit song, so that's why we went with Just Like This. But there are plenty of other good ones out there. You just can't play them on radio.
You couldn't play Nookie.
No, I could not.
That, man, when that came out, actually, Faith was the first one. They did the remake of Faith. Just a bunch of screaming. Taylor would have loved that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And then Nookie came out. That was a powerful one.
Yes.
The red hat turned backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys
I think
exploded.
That's iconic. Oh, yeah.
My gosh, they just took
And
off.
that's before really social media and things like that. So back then, if someone exploded onto the scene, they were really exploding.
Yeah, they were a little like Rage Against the Machine-esque, you know, but new wave type stuff. It was.
Look, I know lots of people who love to get in their cars and scream along with scream metal, and hey, more power to you.
My buddy Richie was their head of security.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, way back.
Nice.
He's still doing it.
Okay.
Shout out to Richie.
Yeah,
He's a man.
shout out. That's
It's
right.
nothing like having a bodyguard with you.
I love that. That's like when we hang
No
out with
doubt.
you in Vegas.
Yeah, but bodyguards are smarter than me. They're looking for stuff.
That's true.
I'm not always looking.
Yeah.
Sometimes I am, but not really.
It
Like them,
depends.
they got to really pay attention to what's happening around him.
Absolutely. Tom McManus is here. RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Taylor Dahl on vacation this week. She'll be back with us next week. A couple from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Someone was when I was talking about the soccer, and that's exactly what was in my mind. It was not just death threats, but that someone was actually killed because he scored an own goal, and that was Andre Escobar when he played for Colombia. But that's taking death threats to an even worse level.
Must have been a lot of cocaine on that one.
Perhaps.
The cost of better or something.
Yeah,
Jeez, that's a little
that's for sure. And a lot of people said that, people are just keyboard warriors, and they agree with you, Tom.
Man. And again, I don't know Brian Thomas personally, but he looked like his personality, it looks like that would affect him.
Yeah.
Like it would affect just about anybody. Don't get me wrong. There might be affected a little bit different on a little bit, but a lot of guys would be like, man, they really don't like me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because I dropped that guy tried 5 passes. Brian Thomas dropped 7. Was it? What did he drop?
Yeah, I think that sounds
Whatever.
right.
But
I mean,
still,
think about the ones that are to end games or in the postseason. Wasn't it Mark Andrews that had a massive drop there for the Ravens?
Yeah,
and then you see the Ravens miss a field goal, and that's those little minute moments. Obviously, the kickers with the kicker that had the double doink for the Bears.
Yeah.
I'm sure those players have been through a lot.
Yeah.
For sure. And I just saw a story today about Jair Alexander, how he had to step away from the NFL because of mental health and said he just had to take a break.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, it's an emotional thing. It's an up and down roller coaster. It's good. It's tough. It's fun. It's obviously you get paid well, but you're still human too. I think people forget the human element of it, but at the same time, look,
Which is
you're very
sad. These guys are young.
Yeah,
for the
no,
most part.
anything that has to do with those kind of threats, that's ridiculous. I mean, I'm all for yelling at a guy. You're allowed. You can boo. I don't boo at games. I just feel that's kind of weird for former player to boo at his own.
Agreed.
So I don't boo. I yell
don't boo either.
or I say to myself, a few swear words. I cuss to myself, or like the old typical what the bump type of thing.
Sure.
But
What
no,
the heck?
yeah.
That's what
Other
you're
than
saying.
that, but fans are you can boo all you want. You can do whatever you want inside that stadium.
Yep.
You paid the ticket. You can scream. You can yell. You can cheer. But outside of that, you really don't have any right to the player at all. He doesn't owe you anything.
Nope.
All he owes you is maybe being nice when you meet him. That'd be nice. I don't owe you that, but
No.
he just owes you playing hard and helping this team win football games as a fan, right? That's all the guy owes you. So if he's doing that. And if he's struggling, okay, you can get on his ass. I'm not saying that. That's part of the territory. Quarterbacks throw picks. Look what Trevor went through. Trevor had, I don't know if he had people like threatening him or anything, but how many people called him a bust, called him terrible, called him he'll never, we talked about it, how
Thousands.
polarizing it was. You had one side that, wait, no, he's the greatest of all time. The other side's like, no, he's the worst of all time. You're like, it's in the middle. You guys are both wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. But, just to think, and especially in this town, you hear it. I heard Boselli, he's like, yeah, I read everything. I see everything. Maybe not everything, but it's that kind of a town. It's that kind of a community. So, and with social media.
And that's the thing. Like, I think it's smart for certain people not to have it. Like, I don't think Liam Cohen has any social media. I think that's intentional.
If you could cut off your players from social media during the year, that would be a good thing.
I think so.
Your wives want to do their thing, whatever. That's cool. You want to be a part of that. That's fine.
But they also get a lot of negative comments if the husband's not playing well, and then they post a picture of, remember last year, Marissa, Trevor's wife, posted a picture of like Trevor and their daughter in the weight room or whatever. And people immediately were like, this is why he's terrible, because he's spending more time playing with his daughter. Like, oh my gosh, people, you are legit crazy.
And look, here's the deal, and I get some of this because, like, hey, man, your job is to play football, right? It's not to build a brand. Your social media following, does it, I know you get paid for what you do. It's a way to make
Sure, you
extra
can monetize
money.
depending on how many followers. I'm sure Travis Hunter with his YouTube and how many subscribers.
I get it.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, you play well and you do that, everything's cool. You don't play well and do that, then people are like, maybe you should spend more time, on the football side of things.
Right. I think
and that's okay.
That
I think
happens
that's
in, I think, our line of business too. Like, are people too focused on propping up themselves versus the actual games or players, the athletes that they cover? That there are people that want themselves to be the center of attention, not the actual games like other athletes.
You've seen in the era of, these brand, like the brand sometimes feels more important than the game or the play or the team.
Yeah.
It's just, maybe it's not, but the perception is you're building the, like, look, before it even started, I remember, I forget who was it? A great defensive player. And then he wanted to get into rap or clothes or both or something. I was just like, just be a football player. Do that later. You're going to be done at a young age. I'm not saying you can't start, working on things, but that shouldn't be a factor. When Anton does his cooking stuff, during the year, I don't care. I don't care. It's not my player, but I would prefer him if I was the coach and not to do that.
I get it.
But other guys do it.
There's a time for that in the off season, and then when the season's there, that's when you should.
But here's the caveat: like, there's other players around the league that do it during the year, doing podcasts, and they get to do it. Right. I just, I don't know. If you put it out there, you better be able to back it up. Like, you're an all-star. If you're going to do that kind of stuff,
like
then
right now, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce still playing football, has the podcast with his brother, Jason Kelce.
Right. I think that's why he's coming back, because he ended terribly.
He did.
Last year he looked fat. He looked slow. He did. I'm sorry. He looked, like he was just more into the whole other thing with Taylor Swift. I get it. That could, take you away, I'm sure. But I don't want them to do well against us. But I want to see, I especially want to see Travis Kelce come back and see how he finishes. Does he come back with a vengeance? You know, by the way, the
brother
Chiefs
played at a high level until he was done.
Absolutely. The Chiefs will play. Who are they playing the Monday Night Football? I'm assuming
in Kansas City. They determined.
I'm assuming that Mahomes going to be ready for that game, or they feel like he will, or they wouldn't have. Scheduled that game.
I've told you this before. I agree with you. My mom, you and my mom are the only two people that call Patrick Mahomes Mahomie.
Mahomie, yeah.
It cracks me up every time.
I don't know why. It's just a little different. But,
it is a little different.
And I hope he does come back. I don't want, he's a great QB. He's great for the game. He's fun to watch.
Yep.
He's that kind of player that you'll watch whether you're a fan of the team or not.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
All right, we're going to talk a little hardball here. The Rays have won 10 of their last 11, 16 of 18, and 26 of their last 34 games. They've won 6 straight series for the first time since August of 2023. Last night, the Rays had a 5-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 7th. And then the Blue Jays plated 5 to tie it up.
Whoa.
So it went to extra innings. The Rays ended up winning 7-6 in extras. But what was interesting, Tom, I've told you about Chandler Simpson. He's the fastest man in baseball and also obviously the fastest player on the Rays.
Yep.
Well, he was sidelined after a hamstring injury Monday night. He's going to be fine, but he wasn't in the game last night. So I was curious if it went to extra innings and he's not available, who's up, who's going to be on second base in extras. And so the answer we learned last night, Cedric Mullins. If ever Chandler Simpson's not available, he was the one who did it. And then Shane McClanahan, we've talked about him a lot. Mm-hmm. He had 2 Tommy Johns. He is now playing at and pitching at a phenomenal level. I'm super happy for him. He lowered his ERA last night to 2.27.
Whoa.
He increased his fastball velocity to 95.7 miles per hour, as high as 97.8 miles per hour. And he extended his career best streaks of scoreless starts to 4. So good stuff there by the Rays. They have one more with the Blue Jays tonight, and then they'll be back home in Tampa Bay playing host to the Marlins beginning Friday night at 7:10 p.m. So I had to talk a little Rays baseball.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. They are having a great year. It seems like the Braves, the Cubs seem to play some good ball.
The Rays have the best record in the AL, which is obviously a cool thing when you've got the Yankees not just in the AL but in your division. And then, the Braves are having a phenomenal season, the Cubs as well. And, of course, the Dodgers aren't so bad themselves. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
All right. I want to get to a couple of cuts from Tony Boselli on Jaguars today. Earlier today, also a little college football want to discuss. You are listening to Helmets and Heels. Don't go anywhere. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Picture the greatest amusement park you've ever been to as a kid. Now imagine a place nothing like it and a million times better. That's where we are.
1010XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Installed by Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
The Gator baseball team is heating up at the right time, moving into the top 20 in the latest rankings after taking 2 of 3 over Kentucky and faced defending champion LSU to wrap up the regular season. And the Gator softball team checks in as the 6th seed in the NCAA tournament, hosting a regional in Gainesville with Georgia Tech, Florida A&M, and Texas State. If they advance, they'll host a super regional as well.
Jeff Prosser here. When you need new windows or doors, you want high-end quality without the middleman markup, and that's why I'm telling you about Cash Building Material. Same premium materials, same beautiful finishes, but at a price that actually makes sense for your home. No subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. If you want it done right, the first time, get a quote today. Thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Top salespeople don't rely on talent. They follow a system. At Sandler Sales Jacksonville Boot Camp, you'll learn how to control conversations, handle objections, and close with confidence. Matt Rocco with Sandler Sales here. We can help. There's a 2-day sales boot camp in Jacksonville, May 13th and 14th. We'll show you how to increase performance or that of your team. Call 904-646-1900. That's 904-646-1900 to reserve your seat today.
Listen to whatever you like, whenever you want.
I like this.
1010XL on demand. Ad-free shows after the live shows end. Shuttled by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Peak. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
Hicken here. See clearly with the Eye Associates and trusted optometrists Zachary Boskool and Alice LaFlamme. From comprehensive eye exams, dry eye care, glaucoma management, diabetic eye care, and more, Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme are dedicated to protecting your vision. Immediate availability at all 5 Jacksonville locations. Schedule today with Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme by calling the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD at 296-0098.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a Dandy today.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Attack, always coming in last, bringing up the bass. No one owes you anything, I think. You need a shotgun blast, a kick in the ass, so paranoid. Watch your back!
So much fun today.
That's a great lyrics.
Absolutely. Bands either from Jacksonville or with ties to Jacksonville. And yes, we're not going to get through them all. I know I'm
so many
going to disappoint y'all. Maybe we'll continue this on tomorrow.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, it's so enjoyable to give praise to those who hail from these parts.
No doubt.
And make it sound really good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. RJ doing a great job.
Fantastic
Both of you
job.
putting it together.
Well, thank you. Like I said, I saw the story about the Riverfront Music Garden this morning, and there was a list of 30 different acts that they have throughout the garden. And I was like, A, I want to go, but B, we got to pull some music from some of them. Some of them I had honestly never heard of before, but that doesn't mean that they're any less talented than the others. But
yeah, sure.
Like I had never heard of Classics 4.
Nope.
Or Frederick Delius.
Nope.
I've never heard of them.
Never heard of them either.
Ma Rainey, Mae Axton, Marcus Roberts. I'm sure, like I said, they're super talented as well.
Yeah, of course.
Just ones that I hadn't heard of. But
what if they're more jazz?
Perhaps I thought about that too.
Oh, jazz. I love jazz. Jazz.
Do you?
Lounge with jazz. It's fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My parents go to the jazz festival every year.
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good music. Good music on a Sunday morning. We play that Sunday
morning?
jazz.
Yeah.
You know, on Alexa, I think, or Siri, one of them. Anyway, yeah.
Good stuff. All right,
for the soul.
Taylor Doll on vacation this week. She'll be back with us next week. And Tony Boselli, not on vacation. He joined Jaguars earlier today, the executive vice president of your Jacksonville Jaguars. And Mike and Tony did a great job, as well as RJ, coming up with some questions and also getting listener feedback prior to the interview. So that way fans can get their questions in as well. So the first question that we will get to, how important is versatility to the roster construction?
Depending on the position, it probably has more importance than others.
So I think that you have to be more specific position-wise, Mike. So, like, let's start, like, in the secondary safety position, like how we want to play defense, how the league's going with the, multiple tight ends. Having the flexibility at safety is important to us. I mean, we look at a guy like Antonio Johnson, who just did a great job, developed last year, has the ability to play, post safety in the box, can play big nickel, can play dime linebacker. The position flex allows our defense coordinator, Anthony Campanelli, to do a lot of different things. And I think if you look at the draft this year, a guy like Jalen Husky, a guy like last year obviously got hurt, Caleb Ransaw. I mean, the guys that have the flexibility in the back end to align in a lot of different positions, I think is something we value quite a bit. And then I think probably the next position I think about around flexibility would really be the offensive line. It's something we invested in heavily last year. We've invested again this draft. We will always invest in that. Obviously, part of what we want to be is a football team is tough and physical. You can't do that if you're not going to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so flexibility, like you talked about with the secondary and the offensive line. I mean, I think if you're not versatile whatsoever, they probably aren't looking at you to be on this team.
Yeah, and I think versatility, it varies on what you're talking about. Like for the O-line, it's more like we need you to play multiple positions in case we need you to play those different positions. You may start as my guard, but I may need you to play tackle, or I may need you to play center for a game. I gotta know if you can play multiple positions. Safety, I think, is more schematic. How you're gonna line up against the 3 tight end set with your 3 big safety package or big nickel or whatnot. So I love that he brought up Antonio Johnson, one of our favorites, but he can play all these different kind of roles, which makes him more valuable than just playing one role.
Right, and they didn't draft Jarian Jones, but he's in that category as well.
Absolutely, and he's proven that he belongs. There's no doubt about that. But you could look at Caleb Ransaw. He played a little bit of rover / nickel, / corner in college. Going to play more safety. You look at Jalen Husky, played more corner or played corner, played free, played strong. Kind of a ball hawk in the backfield there. So he's going to offer some versatility. D-line, you're just going to rotate. It's not like, maybe one guy will play inside and outside, like Trayvon.
Yeah.
Eric Ken in a pinch if you really have them to. But for the majority of part, you're inside or outside, Linebackers, kind of same thing.
Devon Hamilton can also be the long snapper.
That's right. That's right. He could be our tush pusher, too, if you want to really get him involved. He could be a two-way player. Put him as a fullback, too, on goal line. Let's see that.
Ross Madison could be the fullback.
Yeah. Yeah, he could probably do it, too. He could probably catch the ball out of the backfield, I bet.
Probably.
Yeah, I bet you he'd be a fun fullback to watch. But
so really, we just need Trevor to learn another position. Come on, Trev. You're slacking there, only being a quarterback.
The golden goose has to just stay right there and take us to the promised
He actually has lined up outside before. We have seen a trick play.
Yeah. A little wildcat, something like that. Yeah,
I love wildcat. I love that.
For a while, I never understood why it works so well. Like, why? All of a sudden, it's like he's getting a pitch. Why is it any different if they snap it to him or the quarterback throws it to him? Like, you know what I mean? I never felt like, I don't know, maybe because the quarterback goes out, you have to maybe put your middle linebacker out on him. Maybe put a linebacker on him, which depletes your
anything that changes the defense that you get to dictate. I feel like is.
I would just leave my corner out there, and be like, I'm not. What are you gonna do? Maybe he throws it to you.
Also,
keep an eye on you.
It's coming now. Like it used to be, sprinkled in here and there, and so it was a very cool new thing. And now, not that cool, but I still like it.
Yeah, I like it from time to time. It'll be, it's going to be interesting. The end of rounds. How many? We're going to try that again. It didn't. I don't always felt like they had the right guy doing it. Jacoby did it a few times, pretty good. Tootin definitely did it the 1 or 2 times, really good.
Yeah.
But a couple others.
I feel like let's go more wheel route than end around moving forward.
Yeah, I
like
that.
Prefer.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
All right, back to Tony Boselli again. EVP joined Jaguars earlier today, and he was asked, were they surprised that the NFL draft fell in their favor the way that it did?
I think a lot of the work we do, and I give James a ton of credit. He does a great job of leading us in our player acquisition called strategy and kind of how we think about it and how we're engineering the building of this roster. Does a great job of working with our coaching staff and collaboration. And a lot has been made about consensus and consensus boards and all that crap. And James has said it, the consensus we're worried about is the consensus in this building. And so I think we did the work. We had a really tight plan. And at the end of the day, though, you can't control who picks who. But we had a good feel for it and a good feel when we would need to pick somebody to make sure we got them. And we went through the process, a lot of planning, a lot of work, and it fell our way. So I wouldn't say like super surprised or like shocked that it went that way, but you always feel good and you understand that it's going to take a little bit of maybe luck or God's favor or whatever you want to call it for it to go your way. And I felt like it did go our way, and we're excited about it. But ultimately, time will truly tell whether we did good or not.
And I think we've all said that time will tell, but also obviously the team's going to like their draft maybe more than some draft analysts like their draft.
So if they took Pregnon at 81, would Regis not have been there at 88? Is that what they're thinking?
I would think so. That's why, they went Regis a little.
I wonder if that would have rang true or not.
Pregnon.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it's interesting because Pregnon was thought to have gone earlier than what he did.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that he's the one that you were able to wait until 88 to get. A couple pieces of NFL news. Season 3 of Quarterback will feature Jaden Daniels, Joe Flacco, Baker Mayfield, and Cam Ward.
Joe Flacco?
I don't know why Joe Flacco's in there, but he is. Baker Mayfield and Cam Ward. Baker Mayfield alone has enough intrigue to watch. And then Jaden Daniels, everyone jokes about how his mom's kind of always hanging around, so that's interesting. Cam Ward, obviously the rival.
Young
John. And yes, going into his second year there
what do
with
they
the
need Flacco for? Just do those 3.
Valid question. I do not have the answer to. Maybe Joe Flacco has some...
The rating just went to PG-13 or something.
Maybe he has some idiosyncrasies that we'll learn about that are going to be good for television. And then also the first Thanksgiving Eve NFL matchup will be the Packers and the Rams that Wednesday night on Netflix. Yeah, I do feel like if you don't have Netflix and you're a sports fan, you're probably going to have to get it.
Yeah, and
more and more sports are coming to
And you see all the international games on the NFL Network. If you don't have the NFL Network, unless your team is playing, you're not going to see those games either.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, 9 NFL games.
I know.
Will be played internationally this year. Yeah. All right. And then when it comes to, back to Tony Boselli, when it comes to other things that he was asked about and discussed, as far as on paper, we've talked so much about the pass rush this offseason. It's not even funny. So, of course, he was also asked, where has the pass rush improved the most this offseason?
Well, I think it's high. But we got to convert, Tony. I think what you said is really fair. You got to convert the pressures to sacks. Now, if you look at advanced metrics and you look at all the analytics, throughout the years of the NFL and kind of a little historical perspective, you would expect, those high pressure numbers to translate into sacks, and at some point it all equals out. So let's hope that's the case. But regardless, we got to get better at impacting the quarterback. But that's not just the 4 guys up front. We got to do a better job of matching our coverage to our rush. It's something that Liam has talked about in the media. He's talked about very publicly, is that we need to just continue that rush is not just about, or sacks aren't just about Josh and Trayvon and Eric Armstead and those guys up front. That's the start of it. We got to marry that to the coverage on the back end. We need to get a little bit tighter in coverage. Quarterbacks we played last year were in the league, top 3, maybe the best, of getting the ball out quickly. Well, what is that tied to? That's, maybe we were a little too loose in coverage.
So there you have it, talking about that pass rush. And yeah, we've talked about it too. If Travis Hunter is a lockdown corner, you're automatically improving your pass rush.
Yeah.
Obviously with Buster Brown as well. And it's not just him. There's other factors too. Second year as a defensive coordinator for Anthony Campanile. I say Campanile. I heard Boselli say Campanelli. So which one is it? We'll never know. But yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into it. That's why we just call him Coach Cam.
Yeah, rush and coverage go together. It's just, the longer you can cover, the easier it is. I can get to the QB. If you can stop that receiver from getting a free release, you might give my D lineman a half step to get, or a quarter step or whatever, to get to the QB. They definitely go together. But look, when if you go look, and we did it in the off season a while back. If you go look at like Myles Garrett, who had 22 sacks or whatever, I think he had 22.
23.
His pressures are like ridiculous numbers, like way more. Well, maybe not way more, but a lot more. In the 60 range, I want to say from what I remember.
Just read 84 pressures.
84. Compared to Josh's, 40? Right? So I'm just saying, like, you need more. And by the way, Josh was the best out of all of them. I mean, he affected the QB more than the rest of them. So they got to up their game as well. And the injuries took a part, but whatever. You got to find guys to, to be able to fill that void. But Josh
72 for Josh.
72 pressures. All right, so he was great.
He was much better in pressures than, as far as the sacks didn't translate to the pressures the way that Myles Garrett and some other of the better pass rushers, their pressures and sacks went together.
Well, and I think, a lot of times with these other guys, they have other people on the line helping them out, so Josh could, like, say he beats this guy and he pressures the QB and nobody else is there to stop the QB and he buys a little time and throws the ball. He got a pressure, but it didn't really do anything.
Right.
So, he gets the credit for the pressure, but if he had another guy from the other side pressure, maybe he'd get a sack.
And
or the other guy would.
I wish that box scores would show that type of stuff and, or stats that you look up. Like, in addition to Myles Garrett having 23 sacks, also how many times did he affect the quarterback? Like, that's what I want to know. I don't care as much about pressure or QB hit.
Hits matter, I think.
But if there's still a completion with the hit, then, you got there, but you didn't get, as far as you didn't get to do enough.
It didn't affect the pass. You didn't get there quick enough.
Right. And so that's what I want, a stat that's negatively affecting the quarterback to go along
how
with
many
sacks
actual
and pressures. Exactly.
Like
but
hurries, hits, and all that stuff.
Yeah. All right. More to do on the other side, including the golden moment. You are listening to Helmets and Heels 1010XL 92.5 FM.
In life, only the best things stand the test of time. Like radio play-by-play.
I think it's bigger than it seems. And if you're one of these players or one of these coaches, it's the biggest thing in your life.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
Here's good advice from your friends here at 1010XL. I'm Frank Frangie. The next time you need to send a gift for a birthday, anniversary, wedding, or just for the fun of it, call the experts at Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers does it right.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Lauren Brooks here. I love our organized closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for every space and every budget. I need them to come back and organize our laundry room next. Make your appointment today to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or online, closetsbydesign.com.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you, in this financial climate, or really any, it's never been more important to make your money work for you, which is why I'll recommend Mike McGuire and the wealth management team at South State Bank. Financial planning is based on trust because it's so important. You can trust the South State team. They offer the best combination of sophisticated wealth management strategies with a truly personal approach. That will help you meet your financial goals. Stop by your local South State branch and ask them to connect you with Mike McGuire and the wealth management team. You'll be glad you did. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Daly's is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Daly's. Daly's is made fresh, it's made local, and Daly's is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Kubota keeps job sites running smoothly with the #1 selling compact excavator lineup in the world. Reliable, capable, and backed by strong dealer support. Stop by today and power up your crew. Right now, bring home select Kubota excavators with 0% financing available or save up to $7,000. Now through June 30th, see store or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer. Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com and equal opportunity employer.
Hacker here. How many of you remember hearing about 40 by the 4th last year? Thought about making the call to Awaken 180 and then didn't? Then Independence Day rolled around, you hadn't lost a pound, kicking yourself for not pulling the trigger when you heard the ad. I've been there on plenty of other stuff in life, so no judgment. But here's the difference this year. Awaken 180 just launched Reclaim, a 10-week plan with a real start, a real finish line, and one clear goal. 40 pounds by the 4th. Not eventually, 10 weeks mapped out, and then free support for life. You all know my results with Awaken 180. You can have the same. Celebrate Independence Day 40 pounds lighter, cold beer, and a burger in hand, thanking yourself that you made the call to Awaken 180. And you won't be the only one. Hayes has a buddy jumping on board, and our sales guy Greg just told me he is making this his year. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
We're going to leave out 38 Special as we're playing artists from Jacksonville or with ties to Jacksonville. Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Taylor Dull off this week. She'll be back next week. From the text line, Design My Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. This guy went to school with Marcus Roberts for a year and said he is a blind jazz pianist.
Wow.
So really cool there.
That is cool.
And very talented, obviously, as well. And then another person chimed in. Mike Campbell from the Tom Petty's band is from Jacksonville as well.
Okay, yeah,
so
absolutely.
there you get Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah, Gainesville's had some good talent, too.
Absolutely.
over the
Sister
years.
Hazel
Yeah.
and Tom Petty, for
That'd be
sure.
great,
Yeah. All right. We'll play one more cut from Tony Boselli here in just a second. But time now for the golden moment.
Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
The golden moment for me today, Tom, is that Tony Boselli, the EVP of your Jacksonville Jaguars, is still connected with media. The fact that he chatted with a bunch of media out at practice on Saturday, and the fact that he calls into the drill today, called into Jaguars today, that's awesome that he not just gave some time, gave like 30 minutes to them, but also insightful answers as well.
Yeah, and look, I mean, they want the fans to hear what they have to say. I mean, we have opinions. We all do. You know, everybody that covers this team here at this station and beyond, like, y'all have opinions. I'm sure there's some they don't agree with at all.
Absolutely.
They're probably sitting there going, what are you talking about? Like, we don't say that, or we don't
100%.
do that, or haven't done that, or aren't thinking that. And then there's some like, wow, they're pretty right on, you know. But they want that rhetoric. They want, and I think that's a league-wide thing. I think you'll see more and more of that because you just want your rhetoric out there. You want to say, no, okay, so a popular show host, whoever that may be, is saying this. If it's not what is being said you're done in the locker room and it's wrong, you may want to be like, well, actually, that's not right. So let us say it, right? So, like, if you're a fan out there, you appreciate hearing from Tony, like, because he's the EVP. He does have to, protect the shield and protect the organization and the team. So he's got to be careful with how he says it, what he says it. But that's a way for him to, hey, man, we feel good about this. Sometimes, I find it funny because, like, what else are you gonna? What are you saying? You're not gonna say anything critical. You're not saying negative, and I get that. I wouldn't either. It's your team.
But we have had Liam. I feel like Liam Cohen, the head coach, do that from time to time. Whereas I don't know that we'd had that in the past, where a coach would stand up at the podium and kind of call out players through the media. And I do think that is something that the players obviously listen to.
Yeah.
Like, they're well aware that he's saying, we'll take it as a collective. The pass rush, we talked so much about it for good reason. He said Liam Cohen got to the podium after a game early in the season and said our pass rush isn't good enough.
Yeah,
we're not doing
absolutely
enough.
Yep.
Defensively to affect the quarterback.
Yep, and we appreciate that because we see it.
We do see it.
And that's one thing you don't want. You don't want to be told something that you're not seeing with your own two eyes.
But
because then you're like, no, that's not right. We could see it. We're not dummies.
Right.
People can. I've always said that, and it's probably a lot of people around the world, but Jacksonville people know football. I mean, they know what good football is. They know what tough football is. They know what blue collar football is. When their team is working hard and busting their tail and playing really hard and are physical and not making mistakes. You can see that. You may not know all the intricacies of, like, zone beaters or that, but you don't need to know that. You can see what's good and what's not good with your own two eyes. You don't need anybody to tell you what's what. At least from my opinion, from my perspective, there's a lot of people that know what the heck they're talking about.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I also think that, like I said earlier, Liam Cohen doesn't have social media, but someone like Tony Boselli does. So he can read all the stuff about consensus boards and then tell Liam, oh, this is what's going on in the social media world, or they're saying that we're going to trade Brian Thomas Jr., or that we're going to trade Travis Etienne a season ago. Like, he can filter through that stuff, tell the coach, they can have a good laugh about it, and the GM, James Gladstone, as well, and then be able to, take that information and talk to the fans about it. All right, one more here from Tony Boselli. Where has this roster improved the most?
On paper, you'd say we got deeper. We invested in the draft at the tight end position. In our second-round pick, and Borkature, a guy we love, and Koziel, one of the top receiving tight ends in all the NFL. All in college football. And bring both those in on paper, you sure hope. You don't draft guys without thinking they make you better. But it's so hard to tell because, like, while I love what we've seen so far in our OTAs and guys running around out there in their shorts and T-shirts, but we're truly not going to know. It's no different than last year. We went into the season, into training camp, and if you look back, some key guys on our defensive front were not Jaguars when we started training camp last year. Austin Johnson and Matt Dickerson, two guys who played a lot of snaps. Heck, the last 8 games, Matt Dickerson was our starting 3 technique on a team that was the number 1 rush defense in the NFL. And so, you go into the season, and on paper you have a lot of thoughts, and you think that, hey, we're strong here, or maybe we're weak there. Who would have ever thought that going into the season last year on wide receiver that BT was going to, get hurt and have an up and down start, but then finish strong, and that we'd go get a guy like Jacoby Myers as our number 1 guy, or that by the end of the year, Parker Washington would be one of the best receivers in all of football. And we would have the top scoring offense the last 8 weeks with our number 1 pick, Travis Hunter, not even playing because he gets hurt.
And that's 100% correct.
Yeah. And then the only, the caveat there is, do you even go for Jacoby if Travis doesn't get hurt? Maybe not. You know what I mean? Like that could have pushed you towards it. Regardless, we love that Jacoby Myers is here because he's definitely upgraded the room. And he's a true pro, and that'll rub off on everybody.
Yeah, they're not done adding. So you may look at this roster and say they still need certain areas to improve. Obviously, they just signed a veteran running back.
What group do you like the best? And I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Outside of quarterback, probably like wide receivers.
Okay.
I feel really confident in this group of wide receivers. because I still believe in Brian Thomas Jr. I don't think that his rookie season was a fluke. And even though more production came with Mac Jones, I still have seen it in training camp, obviously, in preseason as well. Love Jacoby Myers, love Parker Washington, and then having Travis Hunter mixed in. And then the two new guys, obviously, I don't have an opinion on them as far as what they're going to contribute to this team right away. But yeah, I'd say probably after the development of Trevor, I'd go wide receiver.
Yeah, Trevor's got to be number one. He needs to be.
Well, yeah.
But no, good call. And I can't say right now, but I think when it's all said and done, we're going to really like our defensive secondary.
Okay.
I think we're going to have the right players.
Well, that would be obviously a massive improvement over.
And now that's with Travis playing quite a bit over there. But I think we're gonna figure out safety. That's going to be a fun one to watch. They're going to put the best guys out there. They're all going to play because you play nickel and dime a lot. And you may have to go big safety, depending on how much you see the big tight end sets. But I think when it's all said and done, our secondary, we're going to be like, all right, I think Buster's going to feel great. He's got a team that believes in him, paid him. He can play the game at a high level. You bring in Travis. Jarian, we've always loved, since he's been here a short period of time, but he's a baller.
I hope it's edge.
He's a
I hope
baller.
at the end of the season we're saying that edge is one of the best position groups on this team.
There's like 7 guys that, minus the 2 starters that could
Absolutely.
be. Yeah, and that's what Tony's saying. Like, yeah, maybe, wouldn't it be great if Wes Williams and Durfee ended up being like our future and they can contribute right now? Like they get in the rotation, you can see it right away. Like, wow, these guys are going to be a problem for a long time, that kind of thing.
I mean, it could be tied in. We could be at the end of the season going, wow, they knew what they were doing with Borkacher, and look at Koziol and look at, obviously Brenton Strange and things like that. I don't know that it'll be offensive line or running back at this point in time. I don't think that either of those I would project, but there's a lot of options, which is good news. All right, one segment to go. We'll bring you today's Pests of the Day. On the other side, you are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Hey, Jacksonville, listen up. Termite swarms are active right now, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock. They silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Lauren Brooks here. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix it with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com to schedule your free termite inspection today.
Hey, poker players, let's ride to the riches. Best Bet St. Augustine is giving away a brand new all-terrain side-by-side vehicle and cash prizes during the Ride to the Riches promotion. From May 1st through August 7th, every hour of poker and table games played at Best Bet St. Augustine earns you a chance to win over $40,000 in cash and prizes, including a top-of-the-line side-by-side all-terrain vehicle. Visit bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com, and we'll see you in St. Augustine.
Hey, Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned and operated business on the First Coast for nearly 20 years. Known for reliability, quality craftsmanship, and professional service, Armstrong Fence handles it all, from big projects like stadiums and schools to your very own backyard. They build a wicked strong fence, and they do it right the first time. When you need a fence, you can trust the Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Catch Gators baseball all season long on 1010XL. Pitched by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
And welcome back to another episode of Potty Talk with our current champion. So what's your secret to your perfect plumbing proficiency?
It's simple, really. Roland Reach Plumbing is always the right answer.
Roland Reach Plumbing, 260-7059.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
There's a place off Ocean Avenue where I used to sit and talk with you. We were both 16 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night. Staying up all night.
That's right. We will finish today with a little yellow card as far as
Nice.
music from around these parts.
You know, my good friend Bob Triglia, he listens to the show. He had a family friend that was in Yellow Card.
Okay.
And he was like, this was years ago. He was probably in his late 40s, early 50s. He's like, yeah, I went on the road with them. Like I jumped out, like they're like, come on, Mr. Triglia, come with us. And he's
Love
like,
it.
Okay.
Yeah, why
Literally
not?
like went on the road with them on their
That'd be
tour
so
bus and all
cool.
that. Wouldn't that be fun? That'd be so much fun.
I was into punk. Not that Yellow Card's necessarily like true
No,
punk,
right,
but
right.
I was into punk music there for a brief period of time when I
Yeah.
was younger. Before I got really into country, I loved punk and, nothing like too,
Sid Vicious punk or
No, more like, and I don't want to say Blink-182. That was part of it, but more like,
I don't know what you call them.
yeah, it was a
that
more
genre.
maybe like surf punk.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Something
yeah,
I would
yeah.
put maybe that in the
Beach
genre.
rock or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, although, Yellow Card and Blink-182 are giving us the big finger right now. Like, no, we're rock and roll, man. But they were
Yeah.
great. They obviously were fantastic. And Cherry Street right there in Neptune Beach,
Every
right?
time I go past it, I sing Ocean Avenue.
Yeah, it's cool. Very cool.
All right, time for the Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. It's TERMINIX.com. They do a great job taking care of ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town, as well as at our house. So John Summerall has been on a worldwide tour, it seems, right? Meeting with pretty much every single media entity that wants to meet with him, and he's so gracious with his time. I mean, from 1010XL to the local news stations here, and then obviously both Orlando and Jacksonville as far as the fan bases and things like that. But Mike Norvell, other than meeting maybe with a couple reporters and a media scrum at the ACC meetings up in Amelia Island,
Yeah.
like he wasn't on 1010XL.
Right.
Right. And so Mike Norvell, he's going to be the pest of the day, but he did say that 24 teams would be a good number. It would be a very competitive field to be able to have some automatic Power 4 qualifiers and then some at-large and some group of 6. So I know the coaches want that, but come on, man. The rest of us...
Just get to at least 8 and 4 and then talk. Till then, nobody wants to listen to that.
Valid.
24.
All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
We played music all day today from bands from Jacksonville or with ties
cool.
to Jacksonville in honor of the Riverfront Music Garden that opened earlier today. Who is your favorite band that is either from here or has
Leonard
ties here?
Skinner.
It
I mean, it
has to be.
has to be,
Yeah.
right? I mean, what were some of the other answers?
Well,
What
we
was the
didn't-
best? We just thought
Okay,
who were
yeah.
like
Yeah.
38 Special.
Yeah.
Molly Hatchet.
Yeah.
Shine Down.
Okay.
Yellow Card.
Yeah. Limp Bizkit.
And then- yeah, Bizkit
Come
was
on.
like-
But Leonard
Love
Skinner, I
Bizkit.
mean, I think Leonard Skinner would be number one in a lot of cities in America. I mean, that's one of the most,
Oh, yeah.
Iconic, yeah, Southern rock
yeah. I
bands.
mean, that's
People
they
think they're from
kind of,
Alabama,
they almost sort of own a genre of rock, which is, and you just never know where it would have gone, without the tragic accident, the plane crash. But yeah, it's got to be Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
So
Fun.
honorable mentions, we'll say like Tim McGraw because his mom is from here, still lives
Oh,
here.
okay. I did not know that.
Allman Brothers Band have ties to Jacksonville.
Yep.
Interesting.
You got any other honorable mentions?
I can't think of
I'm sure
any.
there's some out there we're not.
Yeah, in terms of Jacksonville rock bands. I mean, there could be other genres. I just would
Burnt
have
Season.
no clue.
Throw that out there. Another. Puddle of Mud has guys from here. I should say that.
Isn't
Damon Starkey.
Dad Bods is from Jacksonville,
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it lasts. Hopefully a long time.
Those dad bods, they fall out.
Okay.
Lil Duval, that's probably your favorite.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm big fan. Big fan, obviously. Big
He's
fan.
great on Twitter.
Yeah,
if you want to get some laughs in.
But yeah. So all that coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll talk some music, I'm sure. But we'll talk about the schedule. Obviously, we know the international games now, and again, there's another component to this of they're building a stadium, and they wanted to have like a month to get caught up if the project fell behind. So there's a lot of levels to it, but it's obviously it's going to be a tough. We knew it'd be a tough path when you're only playing 6 games in your home city. So we'll talk a little bit about the Jaguars schedule. Obviously, we'll find out everything tomorrow, and we'll talk some college football. Interesting stuff from the Gators and Knowles, and XL Primetime did a great job at ACC meetings, and then we had Jaguars today with a great interview with Tony Boselli, so we'll talk about that as well. So lots of fun stuff coming up on the Frangie Show, and we've got a Loser Monday. So we will make our selections for the PGA Championship, and it's this is a big one.
Who lost most recently?
I lost most recently. Yep. So
because you took a live golfer.
Yep, because I took John Rahm. I got what I deserved, and so I am on the clock. And I tell you, it's sort of I've got a team, Tom, that guides me on these things, and it's split room. I can tell you right now, we have made the call. We have contacted who we are taking with the number 1 pick. So the call has been made, but it was a very tight discussion.
Go for
with
the throat.
Rory's toe.
Crush the windpipe.
Yeah. So
That's
I
all you
mean, we're very excited to announce who we will be selecting with the top pick.
All right. Sounds
Thank you
good.
guys.
Thank you, Hayes.
We're gonna have to pick some golfers, I guess, right? And we're due.
I mean, yeah, I wondered if we would because Taylor's off on vacation.
Yeah, we'll tell her to throw us some picks from Myrtle Beach.
All right, sounds good.
know?
You put that in the group text.
There you go.
And
Well,
she'll
if I
do it.
remember, I will.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, that'll do it for us today. For Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, for the vacationing Taylor Doll, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next.
Gonna walk all over you.
Mike